Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. So in our today video we will be providing you the solution of creating an internal load balancer. It is a part of the Arcade June 2024 level 1. So subscribe to our channel for getting this amazing solution and like the video and share the video to your friend circle whosoever is participating in this arcade program. So let's get started. So click on the Start Lab button. Now copy the password from here and open the Google Cloud Console in an incognito window. Now click on the next button. Now paste your password here and click on the next button. Now click on I understand. Now there will be pop out. Just tick the checkbox and click on agree and continue. So go to the navigation menu and select in the VPC network, select the VPC networks. Scroll it down. You can see that there are VPC network, my internal app, and there are two subnet for that. So now we have to create the HTTP firewall rule for that. In the left panel, click the firewall. Now scroll it down. You can see there are default firewall tools, but we have to create the firewall rules, so just click on the firewall rules. And for the entry, go back to the lab instruction and scroll it down. Come to the task 1. Now copy the name from here and go to the cloud console, paste your name here. So here network is default, but we have to select my network, my internal app. So for the targets, you should select the specific target tags, and for the target tags, go back to the lab instruction, copy this target tags and paste it here. You should avoid any extra space. Now go for the source filter. You have to select IPv4 range, and for the source IP4 ranges, go back to the lab instruction and copy this range and paste it here. And for the protocols and ports, select the specific protocols and ports. Tick this checkbox TCP, and now you have to enter 80. So this task is performed. Now just click on the create button at the bottom. So you can see that there is a pop out creating firewall rules. So let's wait for a while. So it is showing that successful creating firewall rules for Apple HTTP. So you can see from here. Now create the health check firewall rule. For that, still in the firewall rule page, click the create firewall rule. So click on create firewall rule at the top, and again for the different value, go back to the lab instruction copy the name value from here and go to the cloud console, paste the name value here. Now go back to the now you have to scroll it down, and for the target you should select the specific target tags, and for the target tags go back to the lab instruction, copy this lbit backend and paste it here at the target tags. And for the source filter you have to select IP for v4 ranges, and the source IP for ranges you have to select other. So for the range, go back to the lab instruction, copy the first range and go to the cloud console, paste the range here, and for the second source filter you again have to select click on None button. Now for the destination filter, click on IP for range, and for the destination IP for range, go to the lab console, lab instruction, copy this range and paste it here. So this task is performed. Just click in the protocols and ports. In this specific, you should select the specific protocols and ports and tick this checkbox TCP, and for the port just enter 80. You doesn't want to, just select TCP. You doesn't want to enter any value, so just click on the create button at the bottom. So you will get a creating firewall rule allow health check. Wait for a while. So you can see that successful creative firewall allow health check to the lab instructions. Click on check my progress. You will get a green tick here. Now we have to do the task 2. For that, configure the instance templates and create the instance group. Now go back to the cloud console. Click on got it. Go to the navigation menu, and from that go to the compute engine. Now you have to go to the instant templates, that is third option. Let it load. Now at the top you can see that there is the option for creating the instant template. Click on it. Now go back to the lab instructions, scroll it down, and for the name, copy the name from here and paste it here. Now for the location you have to select global. After for the series you have to select E2, that is by default selected. Now click on the advanced option at the bottom. Now click on the networking, that is the first option, and for the network tag, go back to the lab instruction, scroll down and copy this LB backend, go to the cloud console, paste the network tag here, and the network tag LB backend ensure that the HTTP and the health check firewall rules apply to these instance. For the network interface, click the drop down icon to edit. So click on the drop down. Now from this, now from the network interface, you have to click on this drop down. Now there is a network is default, but we have to select my internal app. So click on it and select the my internal app. For the sub network, you have to select subnet A, select it out, and just then scroll it down and click on the done option, and then click on the management. Yeah, now under metadata, click the add item and specify the following. Now under the metadata, click on add item. Now go back to the lab instruction, scroll it down. For the key value, copy this key value from here, paste it here, and go back to the lab instructions. Copy the value from here and go back to the cloud console, paste the value here. So this task is created. Now just you have to click on the create button at the bottom. Now wait for the instant template to be created. So our instant tablet 1 is created. Now configure the next instant tablet. For that, now you have to select the instant tablet 1 from tick the checkbox. Now you at the top you can see the copy option. Click on the copy option. Now go back to the lab instructions. Now copy this name instance template 2 and go to the cloud console. Paste the name here. Now click on the advanced options at the bottom. Now click the networking tab. For the network interface, click the drop down icon edit. Now for the network interface, click on the drop down icon edit. Now select the subnet B for the subnetwork and click on done option. Then click on done button and then click on the create. So our instant template 2 is created successfully, and you can see that these are different. Now, still in the compute engine, in the left panel, click instant group and then click create instant group. So for that, now from now you have to select instant group from here. So in the instant groups, you can see that instant groups. Click on it. Now click on the create instant groups. Now for the name, the name is correct. You can see, go back to the lab instruction. You see, copy this name and paste it here. For the instant tablet, you have to select the instant tablet one. Now scroll it down. For the location, you should tick the single zone, and for the region, go back to the lab instruction. Now from this you can see that region and zone is my US West 1 and US West 1A. Your region might differ, you should select according to your region. Now go back to the cloud console. Now select your region. So my region was US West 1. Now it was US West 1A, West 1. So now go back to the lab cloud console, and on the auto scaling, for the minimum number of instant, for the maximum number of instant, you have to enter 5. And auto scaling and auto scaling signal, click the drop down icon. So for the auto scale signal, you have to select CPU utilization. And the target CPU utilization should be 80. So enter 80 here. Now initialization period should be 45. So click on done button. Now you have to enter initialization period to 45. So just enter 45 here in the initialization period. Now this task is done. So just scroll down and just click on the create button at the bottom. Now it is creating the instant group. Wait for a while. So our instant group 1 is created successfully. So now we have to create the instant group 2. For that, click on the create instant group. For the name, that is correct. Now for the instant tablet, we have to select the instant tablet 2. Now go back to the lab instructions, scroll it down. Now for the region should be same. Use for the region I will select US West 1. And for the zone, my previous from the lab instruction, you can see that my previous zone was US West 1. So region should be same, but for the zone should differ. So I will select US West 1B. I can select US West 1B or C, but no, neither US West 1A. So I will select US West 1B. Now for the auto scaling, the maximum value should be 5, and for the CPU utilization, it should the target CPU utilization should be 8. Just click on it. Now enter 80 here. Now for the now click on the done button. Now for the you should enter 45 here. Enter 45 here. Now just click on the create button at the bottom. So it is creating the instant group 2. Wait for few minutes. So you can see that successful creating instant group 2. So now we have to verify the backend. For that, click the PM instant at the sidebar. You can see that there are the two groups, instant group 1 and 2. Now click on the create instance button at the top. Now for the values, we have to go to the lab instruction, scroll it down and copy this name value from here and go to the cloud console, paste it here and press enter. Now remove the extra space if you have any. So I have to move it. Now for the region, go back to the lab instruction. Now for the region, I have region US West 1 and US West 1A. I will select it down. So that is by default is selected. Now for the series, you should select E2. That is also by default selected. For the machine type, you should select this. For the machine type, you should select the shared code E2 micro. So I will select it out. Now scroll it down and now for the advanced option at the bottom, click on the networking. Now for the network instant, click now for the network instant, you have to click the drop down icon to edit, and for the network it is selected by default, but we have to select my internal app. And for the subnetwork, you have to select subnet A. So for the primary internal IP4 addresses, you should select the expander custom. It is selected automatic, but we have to select custom one. Now custom inferior IP address, go back to the lab instruction, scroll it down and copy this IP address from here and go to the lab instruction, paste it here. So this task is done. Just scroll it down and just click on the done button. Now just click on the create button at the bottom. Now it is creating the utility VM. Wait for a while. Now you can see that the utility VM is created. So just go back to the lab instruction, click on check my progress, you will get a green tick here. So this. So now if you scroll it down, you can see that there is no check my progress, but so we will doing the task 3 for while we have to complete this. Now note that the internal IP addresses for the backends are this. Now go back to the cloud console and you can see that the backend is this. Now for the utility VM, click on the SSH to launch a terminal and connect. So click on the SSH. It will take few seconds to load. Now click on the authorize. Now go back to the lab instructions. Copy this command. Go to the terminal, paste it here and press enter. Now go back to the lab instruction. Copy this command, paste it here and hit the press key. Now you have to close the terminal. For that you have to select the command, paste it here and press enter. So this task is performed. Now you have to configure the internal load balancer. For that go to the cloud console and navigate to the navigation menu and now you have to select the network services. For that you have to select the network. Or you can go back to the lab instruction and you can copy this load balancing. Now go back to the cloud console. In the search box, enter this text. You will get a load balancing. You should select the first one, network services. Select it out. Now just click on the create load balancer, and for the type of the load balancer you should select the network load balancer. You should select the network load balancer, the second option. Now click on the next button. Now for the proxy or pass-through, you should select the pass-through load balancer. Second option, click on next button. Now for public facing or the internal, you should select the internal and click on the next button. Now just click on the configure. Now go back to the lab instruction. Copy this name value from here and go to the cloud console and paste it here. Now for the region, go back to the lab instruction. My region is US West 1, your region might differ. You should select according to your region. My region is West 1. Now for the network, select my internal app. Now for the network, I will select my internal app. Now you have to configure the region backend service. For that, click on the backend configure. Backend configure. So set the following value. Leave all the value at default. For the instant group, you should select the instant group 1 and click the add backend. So click on add backend. Now for the help for the instant group, you should select the instant group 2 here. Now for the health check, you have to select the create a health check. For the health check, you have to select create a health check. And for the name value, go back to the lab instruction and copy this name value from here. Paste it, go to the cloud console, paste it here. Now for the protocol, you should select the TCP, and for the ports you should select 80, that is by default selected. Just click on the save button at the bottom. Verify that there is a blue check mark next to the backend. So you can see that there is a blue check mark next to the backend. Now you have to configure the front end. For that, click on the front end configuration and for the subnetwork. For the subnetwork, you have to select subnet B, and for internal IP, under the create, you have to create a create IP address. For that, go back to the lab instructions, scroll down and copy the name value from here and paste it here. Now you have to, in this static IP address, you have to let me choose, and custom IP address, go back to the lab instruction, copy this custom IP address and paste it here. Now just click on the reserve. Now in the port number you should type 80. Port number you should type 80 here. So just click on the done button. The view, now you have to review and finalize. Click on the review and finalize. Review the backend and front end. You can review it out from here, that this is backend and this is front end. Just click on the create button. Now wait for the load balancer to be created before moving to the next task. Now you can see that there is a pop-out that it is creating the load balancer. Wait for few seconds. Now you can see that there is a pop-out that signifies that they successfully created load balancer. Now you in the task, now go back to the lab instructions, scroll it down and click on check my progress. You will get a green tick here. So we have to perform the task 4. For that, test the internal load balancer. Now go back to the cloud console and navigate to the navigation menu. Go to the compute engines and select now go to the compute engine and select the VM instances. Now for the utility VM, click on the net connect, terminal net connect, terminal net connect, terminal net connect, terminal net connect. Now for the utility VM, you have to click on the SSH window. Now you can see that there will be a terminal launching. Now click on authorize. Now go back to the lab instructions. Copy this command. Go to the terminal and paste it here. Now go back to the lab instruction. So our task 4 is completed. We have completed the a lab. So you can click on the end lab button. Now we will go to the level 1 networking. Now from here you can see that you will get a green tick for the create an internal load balancer. So subscribe to our channel for getting this amazing solution, and like the video and subscribe, share the video to your friend circle whosoever is participating in the Cloud Arcade program. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.